Day Sports, College Basketball 2020. Super pumped to get this going again. Had a pretty busy week, so couldn't get to it throughout the week. But here we go. We're back on June 26th. We're in 2037. Guys, the stream's been going solid for years now. So here we are in, I believe, our fourth year. This should be our fourth year because we recruited Corey Gray. He's now a junior. So our fourth year with the Auburn Tigers. Gray's back, which if you guys have watched any of the last two streams with Corey Gray, he's a monster. I can't believe he stuck around. We've got a good replacement coming in behind him. Nice little 3.5-star sophomore. We've got a pretty good-looking team here. Deli with the 4.5 stars. Still only a sophomore. Could use a little bit more help on the inside, certainly. Take a look here at how our freshmen came in. Got a 2.5-star here in Warren. Chambers ended up with 3. Holland with 1.5. Let's see what's going on with him. A small forward. I mean, he had a pretty good ranking, so we'll see how that holds up. And then Perry Leach, very good ranking. He expects starters minutes. So I know if you all saw the last stream, I was kind of struggling as to exactly how I was going to make these minutes work, seeing as how Leach wants a lot of playing time. Gray could go pro. I didn't want to end up in a situation where Lamont Miller is the only point guard on the roster next year. Even though I think he'd be fine, I'd like a little bit more depth than that. But here is what I did. As soon as I stopped the stream last time, I figured out the perfect solution. What we're going to do here is, as soon as I remember it, we're going to move Whitehead to the 3, and we're going to let Leach start at the 2. So that way, Leach, he gets his minutes, he's happy. We didn't have a super talented player at the small forward position anyway, so I think that this keeps everybody happy. Let's just see here. So he's not concerned about PT. Just looking through, hold on, first of all, let me have AI suggest the minutes matrix. And then let's go through here and check out. Collins isn't worried. Miller doesn't care, although he's not friendly. That's not great. Henry, he wants solid minutes. So I don't know. He's getting 10. Maybe we need to find a little bit more for him. What else can he do? Henry, he's only in at the small forward as of right now. He's a pretty good rebounder. Not great at defense. He's got room to grow. I wonder if... Let's check out Bart Jackson. He wants solid minutes too. I think we just got to leave it as is and hope that this works out. He also wants solid minutes. We'll have to leave it like this and see if it works out. But we get Leach in there starting, so we keep him happy. We've got a whole lot of talent on the floor. Actually, let's see here. Richard Warren is the freshman that just came in. He's not concerned about minutes. So what we could do is actually flip that, let Bart Jackson get in there as a starter. Because I don't know that there's that much difference. And Bart Jackson's actually been around. He'll know the plays a little bit. He'll be familiar with our play schemes and all that, so he'll get those bonuses. Deli's definitely starting. So that moves Warren into a position where he's really getting the backup minutes. Let's rework these minutes, see what that looks like. And Warren doesn't care about minutes. Henry kind of does. Let's see here. So Warren's a good inside shooter, not a great scorer. Henry's actually a better defensive rebounder. Warren's a little bit better shot blocker. Oh, man. So they're still giving Warren 16 minutes there. Let's see what happens. We'll just get D. Henry on the court a little bit more. Leave it just like that. All right, so that's going to be our depth chart. What's up, Breeze? Glad you're here, buddy. Always happy for you to stop by. So I think this setup is pretty good. I think I like it. Oh, hold on. No. Yeah, we can let Granger get a couple minutes a game. That's fine. So we're going 10 deep here. That's good by me. Now we'll take a look. So we're starting a couple of juniors, a sophomore. So we've got a decent amount of experience, but we're also starting a freshman. So I want to have set usage at 60. We'll bump it up to like 65. 65 is a pretty good spot for this team. I feel like, they've got enough information in that offense. I don't like to get it too high. I don't like to get it up to like 85% or anything like that, unless I'd be like at a small school running a Princeton with a bunch of seniors. Then yeah, maybe I go really high. But for a school where I've got sophomores and juniors out there playing, and even a freshman starting, 65 is going to be fine. That'll take advantage of what they do know, especially as they learn it throughout the season here with our shuffle and our triangle. But it'll still let them freelance a little bit and just let that talent flow. So I'm good there. Double check our practice plan. So we were working on the shuffle, the triangle. We got 10% on our zones, heavy into the man, a little bit of zone, a little bit of full court. Perfect for the practice plan. So guys, let's jump into the recruiting. And it is Saturday. I don't know what everybody's doing. I don't know how many people stop by live on stream. I know we've got a huge following on YouTube, so a lot of people are going to catch this after the fact. I've got a lot of comments on YouTube, people overseas watching and haven't been able to catch us live, so wanted to jump on, sort of early, give those people a bit of a chance, mix it up a little bit, but I know they'll see it one way or the other. I appreciate everybody that watches the videos. I hope you guys enjoy it. Always you can jump into chat, leave me messages, talk while we're live streaming, or I do try and get through the comments on YouTube. Now that I don't have the GM Games YouTube account information, Chris handles all that, so I don't get notifications when y'all comment. I got to go in and search the videos and poke around and then just read through the comments. So sometimes I'm a little bit late on it, but man, I appreciate everybody that's watching, everybody that's commenting, and I always look forward to hearing from you guys. Practice plans deep in the game. What do you mean by practice plans are kind of deep in the game? You can explain what you mean by that. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's June 26th, so I'm waiting for Breeze to clarify. It seems like he might have a question, but we gotta go get something set up here. Oh, and what I was saying is I'm streaming now, and it's Saturday. Most of my kids are somewhere else. One of them will be home shortly. I've done my chores. Maybe we can get a nice long stream in. I'd love to at least get through this full season. I don't know that we can go like 5 hours mega stream, but getting through this full season would be nice. We'll see. I promise I'll at least get through recruiting. So we got 2 scholarships. Let's take a quick look here. I'll probably set up my list the way that I always do. We want to keep a nice balanced roster, but at the same time, you don't want to miss out on talent. So I think now that we've got Leach into... So the practice plans are diverse from college basketball. Are you talking about? Are you not sure what, like, those different offenses exactly what they consist of? Anyway, I think now that Leach is playing, hopefully he'll stick around. Miller's a little bit grumpy, so he could always leave. But for now, we're good at point guard. Both these shooting guards are going to be seniors next year. They're both playing heavy minutes for us. So normally I stick with 5 guards, but seeing as how a couple of these point guards could be leaving, I think one of my 2 scholarships should probably go to a shooting guard so that I can start building up a little bit of depth at that position. When we come to small forward, we've got 2. I usually like to have 3. Preferably, and the 2 that we have, neither of them are really there yet, so we could always land a stud at that position. That would be nice. Jackson and Chambers, I'm pretty happy with them at the 4 rather. Obviously, we're happy with Deli. Obviously, I'm happy with Warren, who I just brought in. So we could add a big man. So I think I'm going to go probably 1 shooting guard, and then something down here. But anyway, so yeah, Breeze is saying he's a little bit confused as to what the different practice plans, like what those different offenses actually do. So here, if you guys aren't very familiar with the different college offenses, and even if you are, this is where to come in and look and see what these offenses actually do, because it'll kind of give you hints as to how the game actually uses these things, and how, like, what type of players to bring in, what type of focus to have to make the most of them. So you come into your strategy screen. Right over here, there's a drop down that says offensive set description. So you can click on these different offenses, and it's going to give you the information. The motion is a basic offensive set. Requires movements by players without the ball, keeps primary post players around the lane, allows guards and small forwards to roam the outside or make cuts. This is pretty standard. Big guys are on the inside. Make sure they're rebounders and inside scorers. Make sure your guards can handle the ball and shoot, as opposed to something like a 5-out. Designed for teams with good perimeter players at all positions. You're usually throwing it around outside the arc looking for threes. So this type of thing, you're going to want, not only your guards need to be able to shoot, but your big men need to be able to shoot as well. And if you're running a 5-out, odds are you probably want to flip this over to more like favor the outside, or even heavy outside, depending on how good you are at it and how well you've recruited to be able to do that. And then you can see an offense like the Princeton. It's trying to get layups and easy shots through backdoor cuts. A good passing center is crucial to the offense, so you got to have big men that can pass, as well as well-trained players making good cuts. So this offense is relatively rotten to run with a team full of freshmen and sophomores that don't know it. But once you've got juniors and seniors, you can make bad players, like, they'll get more of a bonus out of this as they learn this offense, because they're going to get easier shots. So you can kind of turn bad players, if you're going to run a small school and be heavy with juniors and seniors, you're probably going to be want to run something like a Princeton. So you can come through here and check out all of these if you like. I typically run motion, flex, shuffle, triangle, even some high post. I don't run the Princeton much just because I want to be able to stick freshmen and sophomores into the lineup. Just like this year, Leach is a freshman. He wants to play. If I'm running a Princeton, that's going to be tough. And 5-out, I don't care for 5-out just because it's, a lot of standing around shooting threes. I don't want to, I'm not recruiting stretch 4s and stretch 5s that are shooting threes all that often. So that's just not my thing. I like the other more traditional type of offenses. Yeah, cuts are like drives to the basket, trying to get to the basket for easy layups and, dunks and that sort of thing. So, yeah, cuts toward the basket are basically just driving toward the basket. So let's jump into recruits. We know what we're targeting. We want a shooting guard, and then either a big man or some kind of 3. But again, not going to completely disregard the point guards. I'll build my old standard list about, since I'm just staying in this region still, I can put it on 10 at each position and be good with it. Maybe 5 or 6 point guards and an extra couple of big guys. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see what's actually available before we get too far into it. Why is it ranked like this? All right, so the first thing I'm noticing is this region is very light on point guards, and I certainly don't need a JUCO one. So, yeah, we'll add we'll add 5 point guards and call it a day at that position. How about that? Shooting guard, he doesn't have any interest, but his GPA is perfectly fine. He has no interest in a 1.8 GPA. So Dwayne West here, he is not making the cut. He's not going to make it academically into our school. The 2.4 with interest, I'm not going to worry about it. He'll make the cut. He'll be fine. This guy doesn't have interest, but he's at a 3.5. Same thing there, 2.9. So I am going a little bit heavy here on shooting guard. Got a couple of 4-star swing guys out there. We can add all of them. Certainly somebody's going to show up at a camp and be all right, Oh, look at that. No interest out of the big man. The 5-star, 2.5 GPA. That's kind of borderline, but we're going to add him to the list. If we could get a guy like that to commit, and he does make the grade, that would be pretty big. Finally check out these big men, see what we're looking at. I'm pretty comfortable with the 2 centers that we have. I think I think they're good guys. I think they'll stick around. I think they're good players. But we need one more big man in that rotation. So whether it's a 4 or a 5, I don't really care. Well, he has no interest but a good GPA, so not at all scary. 2-5 with no interest is scary. All right, now our list is full. So let's get over here onto our call watch list with all positions. Shoot a text real quick. You can hear my dog barking in the background. My wife and kid just got home and the dog's locked in the basement, so hopefully one of them will let him upstairs soon. There we go. All right, let's host these recruits if they'll come. Yep. All right, so the 2 highly ranked guys that don't have any interest, they're both coming in for visits, as well as Mr. Dudley. All good there. Get the film going. And make some calls. Start unlocking these pitch areas and see what's up. Yeah, the dog is here. That's certainly right. You know, at the very least, we're running the cats out. There's no Wildcats allowed in the Coach Scott household here. So, stick with the dogs. All right, Josh Sanders. All right, we've 2 scholarships. We can kind of power through this bit of recruiting and jump right into this season, because I'm so excited to see exactly what Corey Gray does once we dive into the season. How Deli does, it's his 3rd year here, but he's still just the redshirt sophomore, so pretty pumped about it. All those shooting guards are all juniors. That was a really good class that we brought in our first year. They're really carrying this team right now. And hopefully the guys coming in behind them will just develop over time and get us there. So, all right, run a couple of summer camps. These we will have feedback from the Indy camp. The regional camps I'm not worried about until it gets to the Southeast. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No Wildcats. I'm a Cards guy. Louisville Cardinals, Kentucky Wildcats can get on out of here. Agalia can get on out of here. I'm sure he'll pop in at some point in the stream with something smart to say. But no Wildcats in this household. See what we got in the old email. The draft. I do not remember if we looked at this last time. My gut says Auburn wouldn't have had anybody in here. Nebraska probably wouldn't have had any in here, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. All right, so the guy, even though the 2 of them didn't have any interest, everybody had good visits. So that's a good thing. Check out, so we did have a handful of guys at the Indy camp. Let's see who actually are the top 5, and then we can just see by region. So Danny Bybee from Delaware. Matt Mann from Wisconsin, Mike Evans, Arizona, shooting guard from New York, and the center from New Jersey. So nobody in the Southeast region actually in the top 5 at Indy. Let's scroll down and see how the other camps looked. So a center from the East, a center from Virginia, Chris Bland. I'm not sure, I can never remember, I think Virginia is America East region. Utah, Colorado, and Tennessee. So here we go. Henry Green, the first one that we know is in the Southeast. Here he is. And he does have interest in us, so hopefully he's on a list. We're going to go double check that real quick. Definitely want Green to be on a list. He's a power forward. That's one of those positions we're looking for. So yeah, he's on the list. Cool. So he's relatively low rated here, 3-star down at 183, but he's top 5 at East Coast Jam. Yeah, he'll be a player. He'll be good. And you can see he's real close to averaging a double-double there in high school. A couple of guys up here actually are averaging a double-double. But if you're going to ask me, do I want David Williams here with 16 points and 4 rebounds a game, or do I want Henry Green with 15 and 8, who was top 5 at East Coast Jam? I'm taking Henry Green all day, every day. So throw out the stars, throw out these rankings. This is definitely one of our top targets on the inside. So with that being said, let's go ahead and host him, and let's go scout him live. Justin Logan, he was top 10 at Indy, so he's obviously the top target here. Let's also scout him live. And we can host Sanders, sure. Let's check out these shooting guards. So he didn't do great at Indy. And this is the thing, a lot of these other guys probably didn't go to Indy. So we're not going to get any information here, really, until we get that Southeast Regional Camp. So, need to check out Georgia real quick just to see if there was any other Southeast players that stood out there. These aren't going to be like our top targets, but they'll certainly be people that should be on our list. So here's Galen Davis, out of Kentucky. So he's really the only other one. So Galen Davis out of Kentucky. Let's see if he's already on our list or if we need to go grab him and add him. Nope, he is not on the list. So we need to drop somebody. So we're just going to go way down here. Pull him off. Pull this out to the full recruit list. Oh, 1.8. Never mind. Who do we just throw off? Oh well, we'll be one power forward short. We got an extra place on our call watch list. No big deal. Back to the list. Make sure that we get all of our live scouting and hosting in for the week. Host him. We'll also scout him live. We can jump over. Do we have a big... Yeah. We scouting him live already. And who else? Oh, that's all our scouting live. Sorry. Sometimes when you talk... This is like the most confusing week for me because I bounce back and forth. I check three different national camps. So I always get a little bit mixed up in this week. All right, so that's all of our film. Let's make some phone calls. Well, already unlocked him, my bad. Let's jump over and unlock that power forward that we were just getting really excited about. I'm not in the mix with him yet. We'll get there. Not gonna be concerned at all. Get a little bit of Justin Logan. Because I don't think he actually had any interest the first week. I think we developed that through the on-campus visit. All right, so we didn't get into his parents' information, but we did unlock all of our pitch areas there. So, let's see how these visits go. Cool visit. Awesome time. Josh Sanders had an awesome time. Nice to see. Run a camp here. Getting closer and closer to that Southeast regional camp and figuring out who our other target is going to be. Then we can go take a look. We could always, if we really needed to, we could always cut somebody. Prefer not to because you do take a hit to your prestige when you do that. So Josh Sanders had an awesome time. That's usually a pretty good sign if they tell you they had an awesome time. The problem is he didn't stand out at Indy, so we'll see how he does at this other camp. We can call him and unlock the rest of his pitch areas. Who else do we want to talk to this week? Let's talk to some small forwards. See what they're thinking. Oh, hold on. Let's see. He didn't really stand out at Indy. Neither did he. Although we're very high on his list. Any small forwards looking good at Indy? No. Let's wait another week before we do that. Because if none of them really stand out, then we're going to have to fall back on the Southeast. So let's just invite them in. Do a little bit of scouting here. Jump over, make sure. Scout a few of them live. All right, now we ought to hit the dead period. Then we ought to get our Southeast camp, and then we can decide once and for all who our two scholarships are going to be offered to. All right, so everybody's enjoying their visits. That's a good sign. It should be a dead period right now. So all we'll do is watch some film, and we can make some calls. So we need to call Tillman. Ooh. Gotta hit the button. Works much better. That's my top tip for this game. If you actually click the buttons, they work better than if you fake click the buttons and mess up. Anyway. So I'm ready to just burn through the recruiting. I can't wait to get to the games, guys. It's going to be super exciting. We might be competing for the SEC this year. Call him back and get these last couple areas. All right, our time is out. Now we'll get our camp. So now it'll be decision time. And then we'll pretty quickly get to the in-homes. Oh, so you can see the list of guys on our list that went to Memphis. It's basically everybody. All right, so Justin Logan, that power forward, he's the MVP. Ryan Dudley did well. Dwayne West, the shooting guard, did well. Galen Davis and Nick Stevenson. So here we've got power forward, center, shooting guard, power forward, small forward. So I think Dwayne West is probably our top target at this point, and Justin Logan is probably our second target. I mean, it's kind of that easy for me, to be quite honest. Oh, it's not that easy. We're in the Southeast region. I don't see that shooting guard on here. Is he one that's not going to be eligible? He is. So Dwayne West has got a 1.8. Heck of a player, struggling a bit there in the classroom. So he's out. We cannot bring him in. So we got two options, really. We can go through the rest of these shooting guards and see if we're going to stick hard to that. We could fall back on a point guard if anybody was really jumping out, but as I recall, this list was fairly weak. Or we jump over here, grab a small forward and power forward, and roll with the guards that we've got, which at this point is what I'm leaning toward. Let's take another. Oh, we don't have to take another look, but I'm going to anyway. So it was Nick Stevenson out of South Carolina. Let's see if he is on this list. He's not on the list either. Is he also going to be ineligible? Am I just missing him? Oh, he's way down here, a 2-star player. So sometimes, like when they're that far down, it worries me a little. I think he'll be fine. I mean, he'll still be a good player and all. I just sometimes worry about the upside because I feel so much like the camps are current ability and then the recruit ranking sort of like upside. At the very least, we're going to add him to our lists. Let's bounce back over to our call watch list. Get over here, check out these power forwards. Justin Logan, very obviously. MVP at Memphis, top 10 at Indy. This dude, 100% is an offer. We're scouting him live. We've got everything unlocked. That's our top target. No doubt about it. Justin Logan. He'd be a heck of a player to have. Now, our other offer is a bit more complicated. Let's think about it here. So, we got Stevenson, who's way down there. Let's see how some of these, well, actually, let's go to the shooting guards first. Because shooting guard's what we were wanting to really look at. So he's decent. What we can do here, we can just scroll through them all. Didn't stand out. Oh, will this stick with shooting guards? Decent, decent. All right. So none of the shooting guards really did much at Memphis. Some of them were all right. We can take a look at the point guards. Decent. So I guess the big men are just killing it in the Southeast this year. Let's roll through these small forwards. So we know Stevenson was good. So here's Ed Adams. He was a top 10 at Memphis. So that's a pretty good possibility there. Here's another one. Tom Wheeler was in the top 25. Am I through everybody yet? Yeah. All right. So Ed Adams was top 10. He's got a 3.0. Good scorer. This is going to be our other offer. Let's dial him up. Unlock these pitch areas. Ooh, come on. Talk to me, my man. Get that info on the parents. And we're going to burn through this. We're going to invite, obviously. We'll use all of our campus visits and all that good stuff. What we're not going to do is sit here and waste calls. So I'm going to scout him live. Oh, can I not do that? Or did I already do that? Already did that. Sorry. And we'll keep Henry Green here as a backup to Logan. What? And I think Sanders was good as well. So we'll see how that goes. And what I'm actually going to do to try to just like crank up the interest. I've talked to a couple other people about this. It seems to work. So hold on. Some other people were telling me you could host these guys multiple times, but I'm not seeing that ability. So we'll certainly visit them as much as we can when it comes to the in-homes, but I don't know who told me you could host these guys more than once. I was willing to try it out, but it does not appear that the game allows you to do that. So either I misunderstood that conversation, or they were full of it. All right, we got our hosting out. We don't have the ability to scout live this week. All right, game's going to save as it moves on into the month of August. We're going to get through this quick, and we're going to jump into games, guys. I'm kind of excited to see what our schedule is going to look like this year. You know, we got a decent seed in the NCAA last time, I think. It's been a week or so since I did that stream, so I don't remember exactly. Let's open this back up to all positions. Because we know who we want to host. We don't have live visits. We're not calling. So let's move on. We can take a look at how some of these visits are going over in the email. But I really want to get to the in-home visits, see if we can just lock up our top 2 targets and move right along. You know, this team is already pretty stacked. Oh, here we go. That guy had a bad visit, so he's off the list. Excuse me. We've got our scholarship offers out. We're hosting every week. I don't think I need much more film right now. The team's already good, and here we go just adding depth, and slowly as the prestige moves up for the school, as we continue to approach those max coaching stats, we're going to turn this Auburn team into some serious juggernauts in college basketball. We're going to take over this SEC. Everybody will be asking Kentucky who? All right, we got through August awfully quick. All we really did, I think, was had 12 on-campus visits. But still, we're through. 1 week of September where we can't do anything, and then it's going... Well, we can do more campus visits, but then it's going to be the in-homes. All right, got that taken care of. Got our offers out. Here we go, boys. That's where it gets serious. Hey, Ryan Dudley, look at that. To Tulane. My legacy. My legacy at Tulane. They're holding on to it. Let's see. Did he do well? He was top 5 at Memphis, so yeah, Tulane got themselves a player there. So everybody was, saying I left him high and dry. I got him going. Nebraska fired me before I could get that going, but Tulane's all right. They're doing good. Let's check out our inbox just real quick. Oh, look at that. Deli nominated for the Norton, and Gray wasn't? So he might. It wouldn't surprise me if he was relatively low. Yeah, 37th. See if there's any names we recognize up here. Jake Owens at Louisville. We tried to recruit him to Nebraska. So there's a guy, you look back at it, and there's a guy that really could have turned around the trajectory of this whole stream. If we had landed Jake Owens at Nebraska, he may well have saved our jobs. Of course, it didn't work out that way. All right. Go through the rest of all this. Got 5 more over here. There's Ed Adams. He had a cool visit, so not perfect. Josh Harrelson, a little bit of a different spelling, but he used to be a Kentucky Wildcat. Thinking that's the guy they used to call Jorts. For anybody that is not from the state of Kentucky, there's no way you would know that. All right, so our top targets are 2 offers. Obviously, Logan is first. He's into playing time and location. He's in Mississippi. I think that we go playing time here because he is probably the type of player that's going to walk in and start day one, to be quite honest. So we're going to pitch him playing time. For Adams, well, look, we're number 1 on Adams' list, and he's big into playing time, and that's what we're going to talk about. All right, now we need backups. So I believe we were looking at Wheeler. He's awfully low, though. Who was the guy in the top 5 that was so low ranked? It was Stevenson. And see, he's moved up quite a bit here. So let's make him a backup as well. He's a backup option. We can call and unlock these pitch areas pretty quickly since we've got just about 100% on our recruiting ability. All right, so Mr. Stevenson is interested in location and facilities. Give him a little location action. And at power forward, we need to identify who our second target is here. He didn't stand out at Indy. So I guess Henry Green is our second option here. He's into academics and location. So we're going location. We can still host recruits. So let's get some more small forwards in. All right. Moment of truth. See if we get these 2 commitments. Is it time to get into the season, or are we still searching for players? The inbox will let us know. Oh, Logan's decided. Stevenson wasn't too impressed with our visit. Logan loved the visit. Sam Lopez had an awesome time. All right, Justin Logan, 5-star recruit, top 25. Where's he going? Oh, he's going to be an Auburn Tiger, baby. Yes, yes. So even if Corey Gray leaves, Justin Logan is going to be a stud for the Auburn Tigers starting next year. My guess is he starts right out of the gate. This is a guy, a lot like B.B. Higgins at Tulane. He's going to be a threat to be one and done, but he's also in that range where he could be a 4-year player. You have no idea with these guys that are borderline top 25, 5-star guys. But really, really excited to land Justin Logan. He's going to be absolutely foundation for this program for a while. So now we just need to grab like either a small forward or a 2-guard. And it's looking pretty good that we can land Ed Adams. We're number 1 on his list. Shoot, already forgot. He wants to hear about playing time. We'll also talk to Stevenson, who wants to hear about location. We can also, at this point, reach out to Wheeler. I'm not going to unlock anything else on him. We're just going to talk location. It's pretty high. Shooting guard, man. It's so thin over here. We're just going to look here. Hardworking kid. Didn't stand out at Indy. A couple of these guys I feel like were decent at Indy, so they may have done better at Memphis. No. Maybe they were all just decent at Memphis. You know what? We're going to land Ed Adams. I'm not going to worry about this. Let's get it done. Ooh, we got scheduling coming up. Let's see what our schedule looks like. We might change this. We might add some real serious games in there if none exist. So we are going to go at Oklahoma. Other than that, our out-of-conference schedule looks like trash. So let's see if we can't add an exciting game or two. We could get a little Big Ten matchup here against Illinois. And that's a home game for us. And let's grab one more halfway interesting game if we can. Let's see, we got to find somebody. Oh, Duke. Let's bring the Blue Devils down to Auburn. Down to Auburn, Alabama. So right before we get into conference play, we're going to be hosting the Duke Blue Devils. So two pretty cool, power conference teams coming in for home games, and then we'll head on the road to Oklahoma. I think that's going to be pretty solid here. And where is he? Nate Ross. Ed Adams still hasn't committed. All right. But that means he hasn't committed anywhere else either. All right. Now, on the other hand, Stevenson and Wheeler both did commit to other schools, so now we have no real backup options. But we're still number one on his list. So let's hit him again with playing time. And keep on going. Come on, man. I know you want to come to Auburn. I know you want to come to Auburn. You know, his biggest interest is playing time. The only thing that worries me is we've got a couple of small forwards already, so maybe maybe that playing time pitch isn't going so well. You know, if he's a good player, you would think it would be going well. But it's really not worked out for us so far. So the parents are actually into location. They don't care so much about the playing time. So maybe we mix it up here. I mean, the parents don't have a ton of control. Let's throw location out just because the parents are into it and playing time hasn't done anything for us yet. We'll give it, I mean, we're still number one on his list, but let's just try and mix it up a little bit, see how that works out. Maybe the parents will like that, give the kid their blessing, and he'll be an Auburn Tiger. Still no commitment. They weren't too impressed. All right, I don't know what's going on there, but we're going to roll with it. We're fine at shooting guard next year. We're fine at small forward next year. We'll stay on Adams because I think he's a good player. If at some point he does turn us down, we will just sort of reassess the situation. Do we still need to bring something in there next year, or do we hold this scholarship for something else? The inside was extremely strong in our region this year. We really only needed one inside player, and we got the one that we wanted. So, we don't have to force it at this point. We're in a good place. All right, so let's run through these practices and get some season going, and then we'll see. Hopefully Adams will commit here as we move on a little bit. I'd be surprised if he didn't. But it is weird to be number one on his list, visit him 4 times, have the scholarship offer out, and he never went for it. It's interesting and concerning. Makes me think either him or his parents are seeing something here that they don't like. Should be less than a month now. November we'll start playing. It's going to be real exciting. It's really exciting to be hosting the Duke Blue Devils. I mean, and Illinois, but I mean, Illinois is not Duke, you know? They should all be pretty good games, though. So, I don't know. Gosh, I don't even know if we're ranked. Will it tell us on our dashboard? Ooh, we do not appear to be ranked. Hopefully that changes quick and in a hurry. I'm between Corey Gray and Ben Deli. We've got a point guard and we've got a center. Guys, if y'all have watched my top 10 tips videos about Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2020, get a point guard and then get a center was definitely on the list. So I've got a point guard, I've got a center. We should be good to go there. And I'm pretty pumped about it. So yeah, maybe D. Henry here is scaring Adams off a little bit because he is a pretty talented guy, and I'm pretty sure he did well at camp in his own right. All right, here we go, game time. Let's get it poppin', Tigers. Al Manning, no relation to Peyton. Although I did see a story, I don't know if it was on ESPN.com or somewhere else on the internet, that there's another Manning coming up through high school right now, I think, that's supposed to be pretty good. Whole family full of quarterbacks they got there. Whew, ready to get this season kicked off. Let's hit the tip off. I need some good news here today. I got bad news earlier. Real life basketball, Louisville center had a foot injury. He's going to be out for about 3 months, so he won't be back until like February. So I need for my Auburn Tigers here to do some serious business. We did well last year. Let's see if we can make that deep run once again. See if we can get to the Final Four. It all starts off here at home against Tennessee State. And that starts off exactly the way you want it to start off. We beat them by almost 40 points, and Corey Gray did work. Let's slow it down. I mean, that's so beautiful to be winning by that much in the first game of the season. So, let's see. Bart Jackson didn't do much. Was he when he's not hurt, he wasn't in foul trouble. I have no idea why he only got 18 minutes there. But Whitehead poured in 23. Deli, more of a game on the backboards there than Corey Gray. 5 of 13 from 3. Whitehead was bombing from 3 as well. And we really just shot them out of the gym. Leach didn't really kill it as far as points goes, but look at the assists out of a freshman in his first game. So, between Gray and Leach, they really, saw the floor well and spread the ball around. As far as the bench guys, I got maybe Jackson just didn't play that much because we beat him 56-16 in the first half. Like, why even bring your starters back out? Wow. I mean, yeah, it's Tennessee State, but guys, like, those are the kind of games that when I took over Auburn and when I was at Nebraska, like, were very losable. And, we're at the point now, those aren't losable games anymore. Everything would have to go wrong to lose a game like that. All right, so we started off the season right. We do have a nice, even though I added a couple of strong games in the out-of-conference season, we're still at home for the most part, outside of that road game at Oklahoma. So the road game at Oklahoma is probably the one we are most likely to lose, followed by Duke and then that game with Illinois. But you can lose any game. Hopefully not, but we got to play IUPUI. Took care of business again. Nice little 23-point win. And again, Corey Gray for almost 30, and the freshman Leach with 15. So, I was talking in the last stream about how I really wanted a shooting guard to kind of Same reason I did this time, just to break it up, because we got 2 juniors and nothing else. But a guard's a guard, and Perry Leach so far had the big assist game in the opener against Tennessee State, and now the scoring shows up. So Logan signed his letter of intent, which is great because I do think he had a relatively low 2.4, 2.5, something like that, GPA. Still no word from Adams, which is shocking. But we'll keep at it and we'll see what happens. Ooh, Kentucky ranked number 6, so looking forward to the conference play already. But coming up should be the Illini. So I'm very excited to see how that goes. Look at Tulane doing work out there. Man, proud of my green wave. Even though they stole a recruit from me last year, I think. But that's all right. You know, we're all in the Southeast. I created a monster. That's fine. You know, the problem and the reason that we left there mainly was because even though that's a strong conference, we were having trouble gaining prestige quickly enough. I think we're already gained more in our time at Auburn than we ever did at Tulane. And we had 6 years at Tulane. And they started at a much lower point, so it should have been easier. But, guys, here we go. One of the out-of-conference games that I added. Auburn and Illinois. The Illini coming to play the Auburn Tigers in Auburn, Alabama. And we win by 10. Ben Delly with 16 points and 18 rebounds. That is how you move up the Norton Award list. I didn't even see who else played well. I saw 16 and 18 out of Delly. I was shocked. He played 38 minutes. What a monster Ben Delly was. Bart Jackson also with a double-double. So Delly and Jackson controlled the boards. They scored. Every starter scored in double digits. Leach went on and added 8 rebounds for good measure. The freshman at guard, rebounding like crazy. Delly had 4 steals and 2 blocks. What did he not do? He did everything. Ben Delly, wow. The backups, it doesn't look like we got much out of them, but that's because these guys played the bulk of the minutes. Would like to see a little bit better production out of Henry, although Henry also got 4 blocks. That game went to overtime. Wow. That game went to overtime. But anyway, we won. That's the important thing. But that's why we throw in some of these games, you know, especially if we're going to be at home. You know, let's throw in some tough games early and see what happens. You know, get that out of our system. See how we're going to play against some legit talent. It's no fun to burn through a preseason, or out of conference rather, and play nothing but, 40-point games. I mean, there is a certain fun in that, but it's cooler to beat a decent team. So now I'm really excited to see how the game goes when we head to Oklahoma. Knowing that one at home went to overtime is a little bit worrisome. But I still think, I don't think it's a bad sign or anything. It's early in the season. I would have just rather not go to overtime. So I got Weber State, another one of these games that should be a beatdown. Good enough for me, 26. Richard Warren, the backup big man, Corey Gray, and Al Whitehead playing well. Love to see it. It's what I'm expecting Warren to do. It's why I'm, comfortable with him. And that's, on the depth chart, that is the one move that we could potentially make, is to get Warren back into the starting lineup. The computer had him in the starting lineup. I took him out and put in Bart Jackson because Jackson was wanting some more playing time. But with Logan coming in next year, we don't have to worry about hurting Bart Jackson's feelings at this point, because his feelings will definitely be hurt next year, assuming that he's still here. So, if we need to bring in Warren and we got a better chance to win with Warren playing more minutes, we'll do that. And if Jackson wants to leave, that's, on him. Logan is going to be our starter there next year, pretty obviously. So we'll just play it by ear. We'll check out, we'll keep an eye, like I usually do about halfway through the season. We'll go and check out the stats, see how everyone's performing given the time that they're allotted per game or whatever, and then we'll see if a change should be made there at our starting power forward position. But I do like Warren, and I do like Jackson. I think they're both good players. Maybe that's splitting hairs, but So let's just see how they play, and let's compare that production. Old Dominion coming in. Should be another pretty solid win. Oh, 11 points. That's close. Warren with another big game. Corey Gray, D. Henry threw in 13. I'm really surprised. That's 2 games in a row, I believe, that Warren's the player of the game. What's going on with Ben Delly? What is he doing? And why are we only beating ODU by 11 at home? Let's check out that box score and see if something went wrong. Or if it's just one of those things, you know. So, not great shooting. Ben Delly, oh, there it is. Delly only played 11 minutes. He had picked up 4 fouls. So that's the problem. That's why Warren played so much. And when he got the playing time, he didn't score a ton, but he really hit the boards. So, Corey Gray's still such a leader. Leach still playing well, you know. Nice looking points, limiting turnovers, getting good assist numbers. Very happy with that. Whitehead didn't have the best of games, nor did Jackson. All right, but that sort of thing happens. We still won comfortably, 11 points. I'm fine, especially with one of our 2 better players in foul trouble the whole game, only playing 11 minutes. It's not as surprising as when I first saw it. You know, you figure if Delly plays, that's probably 15, if not 20-point win. So, just got to stay out of foul trouble, big man. The good news is, here in our 4th season, we made it out of November undefeated. Now we head to Oklahoma. Now, they're no longer ranked, but they haven't lost either. So that's just a little bit of preseason wonkiness. I think this is a pretty interesting game. This is probably a toss-up. If we want to be the type of team that's going to make a run to the Final Four, we need to try to win some games like this. A loss isn't the end of the world, but let's see if we can make it happen here. Corey Gray, Ben Delly, the Auburn Tigers headed out to Oklahoma in Norman to take on the Sooners on the hardwood. Oh, and we fall short, 12 points. Gray, Leach, and Delly all played well, but Damon Archibald really scorched us, and we lost by 12 on the road. Also picked up an injury there for Keith Granger, and that name doesn't immediately ring any bells. I think he's a backup big man, and he just sprained his ankle, so he's not playing a ton, whatever. But we do fall there, so, and in 12 points, so I mean it wasn't like a nail-biter or anything. We lost by 12 on the road right after not playing all that well against Old Dominion. So, worries me a little bit, certainly. Makes it seem like we're more of a, second round or Sweet 16 team than a team that's going to be competing for a Final Four. But, we'll see. Things can change, certainly. And we'll move on and we'll evaluate if we need to make a change at that power forward position. You never know. Warren just continues to perform, and Jackson has had his games. He got a double-double early. But hopefully a chance to bounce back here at home against Middle Tennessee State. This should be a get-well type of game. Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders, not Middle Tennessee State. There we go. That's a little 19-point win. Delly with 37? Are you kidding me? Delly keeps blowing me away. Like, every time he's a player of the game, I miss everything else that happened. So, Gray, look at Delly and Gray. Almost, that's 54 points between the two of them? That's ridiculous. Bart Jackson also helping out on the scoring. Delly all one rebound away from the double-double. Gray and Leach both dropping dimes. And Warren's still playing well. This guy is our best bench player, I think. So we're really going to have to take a look there between him and Jackson as we continue to move forward. Delly with 37 points. That's crazy. That guy, he's going to be so good, assuming he sticks around for 4 years. He's going to have a lot of records. Now, here we go. This is a game that didn't jump off the page at me in the preseason, but now Providence is actually ranked, and we're headed on the road. So we lost at Oklahoma. Here's another chance to find out: are we a top 25 type of team, or are we like a second round, maybe Sweet 16 if we're lucky kind of team? Let's see if we can keep Delhi on the floor. Let's see if Gray and Leach can keep playing well, and let's see if we can get a nice top 25 win on the road here against the Providence Friars. Yeah, big win at that. Delhi and Gray leading the way, and we take out Providence. So, and now we're headed to Oregon. Man, I didn't see that one either, but this is another pretty exciting out-of-conference game. So, whereas last year we really skated through the non-conference and really just, racked up a ton of wins, but we still didn't really know what we had. This year is a gauntlet in the out-of-conference season. Oh, look at that. Vandy on the road upset the North Carolina Tar Heels. That's interesting to see. Even more interesting is going to be to see what our Auburn Tigers can do at the Oregon Ducks, flying cross-country to play some basketball, and we come out of there with a big 9-point win. Delhi with the double-double, Jackson doing work, but of course our man Corey Gray, 23 points, 8 rebounds, 5 blocks from the point guard, and Corey Gray and Ben Delhi. Look at that. We leapfrog from unranked to number 13 in the nation, and now another exciting out-of-conference game taking on the Cincinnati Bearcats. So Cincinnati was a team, we played them twice a year when we were with Tulane. Now we get to take them on with our Auburn Tigers at home. So we should have an edge here. But this could still, we've got to play our game. And we do. We win by 15. It went way too fast. I have no idea what happened in that game. So let's jump into the box score. Of course, all of the starters just go across the board in double digits. Warren came close. Delhi, that close to the double-double. Gray, 6 assists, a steal, a block. Delhi fought a little bit of foul trouble. Gray and Leach both did some work from the outside. Shot our free throws extremely well. So we get a nice little win there. Another top 25 win for us. So at this point, guys, this regular season is cooking. The only problem that I've had since I've gone live to right now, my biggest issue is we can't get Adams to commit, the small forward who played so well at the Memphis camp. He was a top 10 player at Memphis. It's not like he's a 5-star, top 25 type recruit. I mean, I think he's in the top 100, 150, give or take. But we just can't get him to commit, and I do not know why. We've been number 1 on his list the whole time. We visited him every week. I don't think GPA was an issue, and even so, even if GPA is an issue, the guys usually will still commit. So I don't know what's going on there, but we'll continue to keep an eye on it. Maybe we'll just have to get him in that late in-home visit period. The Buffalo Bulls, 4-4, coming into our arena. It's time to put a hurting on them as we start the final push towards the conference season. 14 points, not too shabby. Richard Warren with 5 points and 2 rebounds was player of the game. Did I get that right? It doesn't look like anything exciting happened there, so we're just going to push right on past it. I'm not going to worry about that. Guys, the Duke Blue Devils should be coming to Auburn real soon. They should be coming soon. The game's got to be getting close, right? Got to be getting close. Look at Tulane, 7-1, headed to play number 3 Florida on the road. Wonder how that'll turn out. See if we can catch that in the box scores. There's Al Manning again. Apparently all you got to do is be named, last name Manning, and you're a ridiculous athlete. Apparently that's all it takes. Tulane got spanked. Lost by 20 to the Gators down in Gainesville. I know those Blue Devils are somewhere around here. It's coming up soon. We're already 11 games deep, guys. It's coming up. Be here before we know it. Is it our next game? I like to keep the suspense, so I'm not going to the dashboard to look. We're just pushing forward until they pop up or somebody else pops up. Gonzaga not in the top 25. Kind of surprised. Oh, no. All right. Oh, look at that. We've moved up to number 6 in the country. So that's pretty interesting. In our 4th season. I guess Nebraska's sitting around like, why didn't you do this here? Like, we gave you 3 seasons. You didn't do anything. And now here in season number 4 with Auburn, we are number 6 in the country. And it goes back, like I said, had we landed that shooting guard, Jake Owens, maybe that Nebraska situation goes completely different. But our rearview mirror's long since been ripped off. And nice little 19-point win here against Hampton. I think that'll propel us into our game with Duke. Deli and Gray there led the way, obviously. As all, now we got team incidents. We got 2 team incidents now. Why is that happening? Yeah, Duke scouting report. I see it. Team incident. Bunch of guys. Linton Collins and Richard Warren. And Linton Collins again. So what is his problem? Is he like not friendly? He says he's a good guy. What is going on? Alright, he said he'll shape up. Warren has an average personality. He hates everybody else on the team. Dude. Alright, he also said he's going to work on it. And who did Collins fight with about the video game? Because I'm not letting that stuff slide. I don't think it was one of the top players. Sean Collison. Go ahead and straighten that out right now. Your attitude sucks. Alright, and he apologized. So everybody apologized. We didn't have to suspend anyone. But we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on that. Linton Collins causing all kinds of trouble there as we're trying to take care of our number 6 ranking right before we go to play the Blue Devils. Like, bro, it's the wrong time to be starting these issues. We're about to play the Duke Blue Devils. Golly. I think, isn't GCU Manning's team? Looks like he had an off game. I didn't know Manning's could have an off game. Alright, so we got a couple scouting reports there for our opening into conference play. But first, it's time to play Duke. This week, sometime, I don't know when it is. One of these days, we're going to play Duke. Moved up to number 4. Good to see. Good to see. Where are we at? Here we go. The Duke Blue Devils, and they're 7-3, 2-2 on the road. Auburn 11-1, 9-0 at home. So going into conference play, one last chance to defend home court against an out-of-conference opponent. It's going to be the Duke Blue Devils. And to be quite honest, given the season that we're having, given the season that they're having, I expect us to beat them. And I don't expect it to be super close. I think we should get a nice little 10, 12-point win here. Let's see what Deli and Gray have for us. The Blue Devils and the Tigers. Yeah, 15 points. Deli with 20 rebounds. Get out of here. He pulled 20 rebounds. That's crazy. Every time, I'm telling you, every time that dude's player of the game, it's like his stat lines, sometimes they're normal. It's like he gets 15 points and 8, 9 rebounds. That's fine. But then he goes out and does something like this. 13 points, okay, 20 rebounds. Deli, my man, throws in 3 blocks for good measure. Jackson, the only starter not in double digits, didn't do much on the boards either. Warren really didn't do anything to stand out. So it was just Ben Deli leading the way. Corey Gray still got 19 points, shot well from the outside, passed the ball well. Didn't really take care of the ball that well with 6 turnovers. So Leach did a little bit better from that standpoint. But nice little win there over Duke. Had a big first half and held them off in the second. So we are going to leave the non-conference play at, 12-1? Are we 12-1? Yeah, 12-1 in non-conference. And, the only game we lost was at Oklahoma. They were ranked in the preseason. They weren't ranked at the time that we played them, I don't think. But we did end up playing a ranked UC team, a ranked Providence team. And we won those games. They were at home, but we won. So we're really looking, at this point I was worried that we might be like a second round Sweet 16 type of team. Now I feel pretty confident. We should be a Sweet 16 type of team. And we might be better than that. So we'll just have to see how this season plays out. As long as we've got Gray, as long as we've got Deli, as long as those two guys don't get into foul trouble, as long as they don't get injured, they can put this team on their shoulders and take them, as far as they can. And they certainly have help this year. That's the difference. In those early seasons, those guys were good players. They just didn't have any help. If they had a bad game, there was no help coming. Now we got Richard Warren pops up from here and there. Leach pops up here and there. Bart Jackson pops up here and there. And even Whitehead will jump up with some big, 20-point scoring eruptions. So we've got help now. If Deli or Gray have a bad game, we can survive. It's not likely at that point. I'd rather them have a good game every night, but it's not the end all be all. They got a little help, and there's more help coming because from the core of this team, unless somebody goes pro early, which very well could happen with Gray, or if someone transfers out, which you never really know. Outside of those two scenarios, we're not starting any seniors. So this whole team could come back and add a top 25 point guard into the mix. And, it could be game on. We could be fighting for national championships from that point forward. And we could fight for it this year. You never know. But I think this is like our last year of really building out that depth. Let's see how we go here. Home opener in conference play against Texas A&M, and we took care of business. Corey Gray really took care of business. 29 points, looking good there in the opener against Texas A&M. I don't know what kind of challenge they were, but we weren't worried about it, and we're looking strong right now. We are on a roll, 13-1, January 6, 2038. God, I'm trying to remember. I counted last time. I think you guys been with me for 18 or 19 seasons now. It's crazy. Well, we went 6-6 with A&M and Tulane, so that was 12. 3 with Auburn is 15, and this is our 4th. So this is the 19th season, yeah. Here we go. Here we go. We talk about taking over the SEC. We talk about making people forget about the Kentucky Wildcats. If you're going to do that, you got to go into Rupp Arena and make it happen. So we're headed on the road. The number 5 Auburn Tigers, the number 11 Kentucky Wildcats. Damn, they beat us by 9. So you can see there, Deli did well, but Corey Gray nowhere to be seen. I don't know if that's foul trouble. Hopefully it's not injury. But on the road against Kentucky, we did not get it done. So I'm hoping we're going to get a revenge game against them at Auburn later in the season. No injury, thankfully. But nothing out of Gray in that one. And we fall back to 1-1. So big win there for Kentucky. Hopefully that's the last time that sort of thing happens. After this season, hopefully we're in a position to where, even when we're going on the road against really highly ranked teams, we should hopefully still be favored going forward. Adding that third, having that big 3 is really where it's at. Ooh, another big game. Number 6 Tennessee coming into our place. So another really toss-up. A true toss-up type of game. They could definitely beat us at home. I think we should win. If we're going to do what I want to do this season and go into the Final Four, we should win. But the Vols and the Tigers, oh, yeah, baby, 9 points. Bart Jackson showed up. So you can see there, that's what I'm talking about. Deli didn't have a great game. Gray did. So sort of a reversal from the Kentucky game. But then a guy like Bart Jackson steps up. I think it was either Whitehead or Leach stepped up and with some help. And Auburn takes down Tennessee by 9. So that's where, though, when your top guys are out and you get a little bit of help from the rest of the team. And that sort of thing is even easier when you're at home. You'll notice a lot of times at home, your freshmen play better, your backups play better. Your top guys are your top guys. Yeah, they can get in foul trouble, they can get hurt, or they can just flat out have an off night. But, those top players are going to be top players 8 times out of 10. But being at home is where it really helps the ones that aren't, your top 2 stars. Another game against a ranked team on the road. This time, it's Ole Miss. This is probably a toss-up. We could definitely lose this. No, we can't. It's 21 points. Corey Gray, 10 points, 10 assists. Bart Jackson and Ben Deli. So early in the season, we were keeping a close eye on Bart Jackson and Richard Warren to see if we needed to make a change. And, I never did look at the stats because we were winning so many games. It kind of slipped my mind. We can take a look now. But Bart Jackson's showing up enough, I don't think I would want to pull him out. All right, so first we need to look at minutes. He's getting about 23. Warren's getting about 16. So Warren is kind of beating him points-wise. He's close on rebounds. I don't know that there's much difference between these two players. We can we get a per 40? Basic stats per 40. All right. So Bart's around 13 points. Warren's around 16. Bart was just shy. So Warren is outplaying him barely per 40. How's the rest of everything look? How's a field goal percentage? So Bart Jackson is shooting 50%. Warren is up near 60. Let's break it down a little more. Turnovers, are they going to hurt us? They're pretty even there. Warren, better with blocks, better with steals, better with assists. So stat-wise, Richard Warren per 40, it really looks like we might want to make that change. Now, the only reason not to make that change is right here. Bart Jackson wants solid minutes, not starters minutes, but solid minutes. Let's see, what's Warren thinking? He doesn't really care about playing time. So, we don't want to piss off Bart Jackson, but at the same time, Richard Warren's looking pretty good. Let's take one other quick look. I got one other thought rattling around up here. And that's could we start Warren and let Jackson back him up and back up the 3? But I think that would turn around and upset D. Henry, which I don't want to do. He wants solid minutes. So we probably don't want to do that. Let's just make the switch and let it roll for about 10 games and see what we think at that point. All right, so now Bart Jackson is playing backup for both power forward and center. Keith Granger still getting a little bit of time. 14 minutes, I think, for Jackson should still be fine. So let's play that out and see how this feels. Yeah, what's up, Chris? Glad to see you dropping in. Yeah, having all good players that don't care about minutes at all. It would be nice, but I don't think you're ever really going to get there. If you're wanting to bring in really good players, at some point, somebody cares about playing time. The good thing is it's not a huge, worry. Anybody that's worried about playing time is either good enough that they're going to get their minutes or bad enough that I don't care if they leave. So these guys wanting playing time, really the only thing it stops you from doing is building this juggernaut that has 12 deep worth of top 25 players. You can't do that. and nobody really can. Even like Kentucky and Duke in real life, they might bring in 3 of the top 5 players in the nation, but I guarantee they're giving them 30 or 35 minutes every night. Those guys aren't sitting on the bench very often, and if they do, it's only for 1 year. Even years where Kentucky brings in 6 or 7 guys, they all go pro. They're not sticking around to sit on the bench and not play. So good players are going to want playing time. The number 3 Gators, the number 5 Tigers. It's at our place. We have the advantage. We need to take advantage of it, because if we got to go and play them on the road, it's going to be a tough pull. The Tigers and the Gators. Yeah, baby. 19 points. And Richard Warren. We put the boy in the starting lineup, and he comes straight out of the gate doing work. Him and Deli both with a big 19-point win. Let's go to that box score. See how they did it. Man. So Richard Warren, his first start, 15.7 rebounds. Deli with the double-double. So Leach didn't have a great scoring game. He didn't really shoot that much. I mean, Whitehead and Gray really did. What is Whitehead doing? How you go 2 for 11 shooting? Because I don't think they count the field. If you get foul on a jump shot and you miss it, I don't think it counts as a field goal attempt. So, yeah, you got fouled a couple of times and went to the line. But, dude, you're not shooting that good. Dumped the ball to Deli. He went 6 of 7. Jackson still played well off the bench, 8 points. Not quite as many minutes. All right, looking good. I'm feeling great about this season. I think we got a chance. I don't feel like we're a national championship winning type of team, but I certainly think we should be a Sweet 16 type of team. And once you get there, anything can really happen. I do think we still, we're just, if Gray and Deli stick around and we can bring in London next year and we've got that big 3, then I think that math changes a little bit. As of right now, I'm still a touch skeptical of exactly how far we can go, but we've got a great team. We're number 5 in the country. We've lost 2 games, and both of them were to top 25 teams on the road. Now, yeah, Bree said he's not Curry, that's for sure. Whitehead is not doing a Steph Curry impersonation. All right, so we're headed into Vandy. So we should really, if we're a real quality team, Vandy looks like a real bad team. We should be beating bad teams on the road. And we take care of business. Nice little 10-point win led by Deli and Gray. And the freshman Perry Leach, 24-point outburst. And that, my friends, is why we found a spot for him in the starting 5. He's a heck of a player. And freshmen are going to have their ups and downs. But he's so super talented. I did not want to lose him after 1 year just because he's upset about playing time or something. So Chris subscribed. Love to see it. 4 months in a row. Hey guys, anybody that's not subscribed, like if you're catching us on YouTube later on or whatever, go ahead and make sure you jump over to Twitch and hit subscribe. Like I was saying earlier, I know there's some guys that are overseas, don't usually get to catch the streams because I tend to do it at like 6 or 7 o'clock Eastern time throughout the week, and I don't really have a set schedule. But if you're subscribed on Twitch, then or following on Twitch or whatever, I think you should get a notification when I do go live, so that if I do something like today where I started at 1 o'clock Eastern time, if you're overseas, that's probably 6, 7, maybe 8 o'clock at night, depending on exactly where you're at. But you can get that notification, you can jump on and catch us live. So make sure wherever it is that you're watching, you're mashing that subscribe, follow, whatever it is. Because I'm always excited to talk to you guys. Some of you I only talk to in like YouTube comments or whatever, but it's always fun to have people jump into the stream live and be able to chat like while I'm actually doing things and have a little bit of input. Like I very much let chat decide whether we were going to Kansas or sticking with Auburn in the last stream. So sometimes like things like that. Sometimes if players are real close, like Warren and Jackson, sometimes I'll ask guys in chat what they're thinking. But here we go. The Razorbacks coming into Auburn. Another game that we should really run them out of the gym, and we do by 22. Gray, Deli, and Leach once again doing it. So can Leach, as he moves through this freshman season and gets more comfortable with the offenses, can Leach turn into that third scorer I kind of hoped before the season started that Whitehead would do that. That really hasn't, it's been the case here and there, but not on a consistent basis. So can Leach do it a little bit more consistently here as we move into February? Let's find out. Oh, headed to Alabama. So SEC is just full of ranked teams this year. Auburn, Alabama, Ole Miss, Kentucky, Tennessee. Was there another? Is there one I'm missing? That's 5 at least for the SEC. Now, how big of a game is this one in Alabama? I understand it's basketball. I do. But the Auburn Tigers and the Alabama Crimson Tide, number 5 and number 11 in the country at Coleman Coliseum. Let's see how this shakes out. Certainly a game where, they probably feel like they have the advantage. We've got to be firing on all cylinders if we want to win a game like this. But anything can happen. Oh, and we take the loss. Delhi tried. Gray tried. Looking for that third in the big three. Whitehead, yeah, he had some assists and rebounds, but only 5 points. Leach was nowhere to be found, and we dropped a game there. So that's what I'm saying. We're like one player away from like really being complete. Delhi is a quarterfinalist for the Norton. Let's see how far. I think he was 37th. Now he's definitely moved into top 30. Where's he at? We're looking for our boy Delhi. He's moved all the way up to 13th. You usually don't see a ton of movement on this list. Ben Delhi went from 37th to 13th in the Norton Award. So if he keeps playing the way that he has been, he's going to jump right up into that top 10. If he can make that top 10, whew, anything can happen, guys. I can't believe Corey Gray wasn't on that list. It's just shocking to me. But again, Delhi is a sophomore. Now, we did redshirt him because he had I think it was an Achilles injury for him in his freshman year, like 4 or 5 games in, and we were able to still redshirt him. Got that medical red shirt. So there's really no such thing as a medical red shirt within Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2020, but in my mind, when I imagine it, it was certainly a medical red shirt. But we got to keep him around for an extra year. He learned the offense and the defense, and now he's a Norton Award potential candidate and just an absolute beast. Throwing out 40-point games and 20-rebound games. It's ridiculous what he does sometimes. Now, here we go. Here's our revenge game against the Wildcats. I want this one. We need to go out and win this game right now. I hate the Wildcats. I hate them all day, every day. And it's time to put them in their place right this second. The Wildcats coming down to play the Tigers in Auburn Arena. Get out of here. Go home. Go home, Kentucky. 17 points. That's what we do. Absolutely. Get out. So we put it on them. Let's go check out, guys. We're into February now. We're 7-2 in conference. Still in the top 5. Yay, thank you for the follow there. Appreciate it. Is that Chunky J Mac? Let's see what these standings say, guys. Oh, we got to pick our league? Thought it usually defaulted. In the SEC, Alabama and Auburn, both 7-2, along with Kentucky. So we know we went 1-1 with Kentucky. Let's see if we can get a return game against Bama at home. And hopefully we just hold serve the rest of the... Oh, if we got to go to Florida, that'll be tough. South Carolina up there in the rankings. Ole Miss got us early and fell off a cliff. So they were in the top 25. They're now 2-7 in conference. They must have beat on Directional State in the non-conference schedule. Yeah. I'm streaming all the way through March Madness. We'll see what it is. I'll take you through the Auburn games, like just sticking with Auburn. And then if we happen to lose and go out, then I'll pull it out and we'll see like how the rest of the tournament goes. If Auburn keeps going like all the way to the Final Four, I'll also pull it out and give you a little bit of a recap on that. And then I'm also going to get you through the coach hiring periods. I'll get you through all the late recruiting, and we'll simulate the off season so that I'll simulate it up to at least June 26th of next year. So we'll get to see, how this outgoing draft class goes, whether or not Corey Gray turns pro. You can see how the one player I've recruited already, and then hopefully this other guy, it's already February. I don't know why he's not committed yet, but we'll be able to see their rankings. We'll be able to see the ranking on the new team. There's a whole lot to come in this stream. We've been live for about an hour and a half. I expect it'll be about another 30 minutes, give or take. But the most exciting part is really the end, seeing how we do in the tournament and then seeing how we're going to shape up for next year. So, and I'll get you through all that. Yeah, for sure. I might have to run over here and grab another drink. But we're going to get through all that on the stream today. Oh, one thing I did forget. I don't think this will change your all's view. I need to go in and change my... Oh, I did get the audio output. Every time that I jump into anything that has noise, I've been blowing people's ears away. So I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to blow y'all away. I did turn down the game's audio output a little bit. So y'all let me know, especially guys that are in the stream, somewhat regularly and have had their ears bleeding because of the extremely loud noises before. Let me know how that sounds for you this time when we get to it. There's not a whole lot of sound in the game through the season other than like receiving emails. But once we get to March Madness and all that, there will definitely be some sound. So here we go, guys. Number 5, Auburn Tigers, headed down to play the Aggies on the road. They're having a brutal season. This is a game, if you're number 5 in the country, even being on the road, you need to win this one. And we can't do it. We got upset at Texas A&M by 13 points. Corey Gray with 14, Whitehead with 10. Just nobody did enough. They played okay, but nobody played great. And we went down there and we got beat on the road. So that's a real bummer. That's one that we should not lose. Texas A&M's a bad basketball team. And, we were hoping to win the SEC. Maybe we beat Florida on the return game. Maybe not. But hopefully the other teams drop it and we could pick up that big SEC win. But with a loss like that, it really puts you behind the 8 ball. I don't think we can win the regular season championship. The good news is, we're obviously going to make all the tournaments and everything, so we can still win an SEC tournament championship and then see what happens in March Madness. But the regular season championship, that game probably just, I don't think, it didn't take us out of contention. We could still win out and get it, but we're not going to win out. We've still got to go on the road to Florida. So LSU at home, we had better bounce back and win here, and we do. Oh, quite the win. 27 points, big games out of the usual suspects. So gets us back on the right path, gets us to 20-4, 8-3 in the SEC, halfway through February. That's 11 games in conference. I think that we have an 18-game conference schedule. So guys, we are 7 games away from the SEC tournament, 7 games away from the postseason here. And I'm going to have to grab that drink right now. Oh, let's see what we got. So we're headed on the road to Georgia. On the road at Georgia. 20-4 against the 11-11 Georgia Bulldogs. So another one. This should be a win, but you saw what happened at Texas A&M. That sort of thing can happen anytime in conference play. But it's not happening today. 15-point win. Deli and Gray leading the way. That's our new motto. Deli and Gray leading the way. So 18-12 out of Deli. I missed it. Gray obviously with the scoring did his thing. And we get the solid win there against the Bulldogs. So that's good. Takes us to 9-3. We should have 6 games left. We're going to check the dashboard. We're going to take another look at the SEC standings. Oh, we might have an assistant coach coming. James, are you down here? James, are you down here? Come on, Bubba. I'm streaming, but you can sit with me. Assistant coach ran back upstairs. Apologize for that. He was our good luck charm when we were with Tulane, so I don't know why he's running back upstairs now. Who's pissed at me? Lamont Miller's pissed. D. Henry. Keith Granger. All right, Miller. he won't transfer. He's got a good relationship. D. Henry, he's good with the team. He kind of hates me. It's all right. I don't think he'll transfer. And Granger's a senior, so I don't care. Check out the inbox. First, got to answer the wife on the text messages. So Delly's a semi-finalist for the Norton. All right, yeah. So is he still at 13? Where's he at? He's up to 9th. So Ben Delly consistently moving up in the Norton. Check these standings. 9-3. So holding pace. We now got 4 teams tied at 9-3. And see, this is why we can't be losing to the worst team in the SEC. And this is looking like a worse and worse loss. All right, 6 games left. You can see it. We got to go to South Carolina. We got to go to Tennessee, and then we got to go to Florida. We need to pick up at least one of those wins and hold serve at home. Keep hearing little footsteps on the stairs over there. Our assistant coach may join us. We'll see. James, you can come over here and sit with me, buddy, if you want to. You're usually a good luck charm. I need you for the tournament. Every time I holler his name, he gets scared and runs back up the steps. He's been on stream before, though, so I don't know why. All right, Missouri coming in. They're awful. They got a losing season in the SEC, and overall, we should absolutely wipe the floor with this squad. 17 points, Delly with 20, Corey Gray with 25. I think that was Whitehead that was the third player. So, did what we needed to do there against the Missouri Tigers. Now, I believe, is the first of these 3 big road games against ranked teams. So, first opportunity to really, if we want to catch up, if we want to make up for that brutal loss that we ate against Texas A&M, what we really need to do is win 2 out of these 3 road games. But I think that's kind of asking a lot. But this is our first opportunity. Let's see if we can make it happen. Headed on the road to play the South Carolina Gamecocks, number 20 versus number 7. Whew, this SEC this year, I'm telling you, it's for real. Auburn and South Carolina. Yeah, 13 points. Corey Gray, Al Whitehead. See, that's what you need. You need that third dude stepping up. Because Delly and Gray, sorry, there's a little thing flying around me. Delly and Gray both did their thing, and then Whitehead stepped up, and that's what you do if you want to beat top 25 teams on the road. So, got it done there. Moves us to 23-4, 11-3 in the SEC. So now we need one more big win on the road. I think we can afford a loss. But we got to hold serve at home and win one more. We got 2 more road games. We got to get one of them. And I think maybe we could force a big giant tie in the SEC. I don't think we're going to win it outright. And this is when it really pisses you off that you lose to Texas A&M. Like, what a stupid loss. Like, on the road to Ole Miss, that's not great. But the loss at Texas A&M is really just terrible. So now we got Mississippi State. They're 16-11, so this is a decent squad. They're coming into our place. We should beat them, but these are the kind of games, like it's conference games. You never know. 18 points. Delly Gray leading the way. That's what I'm talking about. Gosh, that's 100% reincarnation of B.B. Higgins and Marquette Holmes. We had that duo at Tulane, and they carried us for 4 seasons. Now we got the same thing going on at Auburn. A little bit different because Delly did get hurt in that freshman year. So, but they were both recruited at the same time, and they're definitely we go as those 2 guys go. So hopefully, when we get into tournament play, they'll be going real good. Keep looking over my shoulder. I'm telling you, I'm hearing footsteps. All right, so now we're on the road at Tennessee. They're 19-7. We're number 5. They're number 11. I mean, these are just, we're closing out this SEC schedule, and it's slugfest after slugfest. Auburn and Tennessee, the Tigers and the Vols. Damn it, 3 points. Gah! So you see, I mean, Gray did his thing. Delly was kind of held in check. Whitehead couldn't quite get there. So close, guys. We'll take them on a neutral court. I'm not worried about that. The only team I'm worried about at all in the SEC right now on a neutral court with any reasonable certainty is Florida. Everybody else, I think we can win. We can lose, but everything else is winnable. Florida on a neutral court is the only one that I worry. Like, is it winnable or is it not? We'll find out, though. I'm pretty sure we'll find out. I think that this SEC championship game, assuming that the seeds line up right, the SEC championship game, I expect it to be Auburn and Florida. One last late season check. As we're coming down the stretch, Warren has been starting for about a month now, I think. So I want to check out the per 40 and see if he's still outperforming Jackson. Points-wise, he's actually doing significantly better. He's still ahead on rebounds. Assists are close-ish. I don't see any reason at all. To change back to Bart Jackson. So we're going to stick with Richard Warren there at the power forward position. I like what he's been doing for us. I would like, his very first game starting, he jumped up and he was MVP of the game. So I would like to see a little bit more of that. I don't know what happened. I haven't seen his name pop up. It's all been, obviously, Delly and Gray have been in that top 3 repeatedly. And then after that, it's been mostly like Leach and Whitehead. So, Ole Miss at home, we lost at their place. They were top 25 at the time. They're not now. They've had kind of a tough go of it in the SEC. They look better lately, but we need this win. Yeah! 104 points, baby! Bart Jackson actually jumped up into the top 3 that game. So, a heck of a win there. And, I think they might have taken a little bit of offense that Ole Miss beat them at Ole Miss. And we put it on them with 104 points. Nice little 24-point win. So we now got 25 wins on the year before we even hit tournament play. Unless we have a complete meltdown, we should have a 30-win season here with the Auburn Tigers. So, guys, this is as big as it gets. Number 4, Auburn, on the road against number 2, Florida Gators. And this is the final game of the SEC season. So, I'm not even going to look at the standings, but this is definitely going to have massive implications for the regular season SEC championship. Let's see if we can go steal a win down in Gainesville. No. Very much. The answer is no. Leach tried. Gray was pretty miserable. Delly nowhere to be found. And we lost by 20. So that's why I say we did well at home. They beat us down at their place. So that is really, truly a toss-up once we get to a neutral court. Now, here we go. I told you all the best on the stream is yet to come. Here it starts right now. The regular season's over. We get a decision out of Ed Adams. Yes, sir. We got Ed Adams. So we got our top 2 targets on the season. It took a while, but there it is. Now we got players declaring for the draft, or do we? This may be that nobody's leaving, but Corey Gray obviously is the one player that we're interested to see what his decision is, and he'll be back. We will get a senior season out of Corey Gray. So we got Corey Gray, we got Ben Delly, and we've got London coming in at the 4. Leach is only going to have another year, so unless people transfer out, guys, next year we are 100% competing for a national championship. Now, the bad news. Norton Finalists are announced. Ben Delly was at number 9. He does not appear to be a finalist, so he must have fallen out. A couple of bad games there, and Ben Delly's quest for the Norton Award has fallen short. But you've got to think that next year he's got a really good chance at it. And then, next year he's only a junior. This was his sophomore season. So, a lot of good news there. Not much bad at all. And now it's time for the SEC tournament. Oh, let's check the standings. I expect Florida won it. Yeah, Florida at 15-3 there, they won. Had we beaten them, it would have been a 3-way tie for first. But we couldn't get it done, It just didn't work out that way. So luckily, even had we beaten Texas A&M, we would have only tied for second. As it is, we finished third in the SEC, which is not too shabby for our 4th year at Auburn. Now we got to see what happens in the tournament. James, are you over there, buddy? I don't know what's going on the steps. I think he's just sitting there listening to me. Tournament time. We got our players. Had a strong season. Let's see if we can get to 30 wins. The good news is, I don't have to do any of this in-home, like this second in-home visit season. I always forget when it is because I so rarely have to do it. Luckily, Adam's committed before we ever got to that point, so I don't even have to think about it. All right, so look, we got ranked teams playing in day 2 of the SEC tournament. The Volunteers. It's going to be a nasty first-round matchup for somebody. I think they should be playing Kentucky. Kentucky was the 4. Yeah, so there's Tennessee and Kentucky. We get Auburn. They got a losing record on the season. Apparently, they upset somebody yesterday. So, on a neutral court here, I know it says it's in Auburn Arena, but the game takes into account that it's a tournament and treats it as if it's a neutral court game. So let's see what we can do on a neutral court. Woo! Go home, Missouri. I don't know who you beat yesterday, but you were not getting past the Tigers. So, Kentucky, Florida, Auburn, Alabama. 1, 2, 3, 4. Straight up chalk in the SEC tournament. So let's see how these semifinals play out. Fully expect the Gators to beat the Wildcats. Oh my God. 55-44. UK's defense went insane. And they upset the Gators in a semifinal. So now let's see if we can avoid the same fate. We get another shot at the Auburn Crimson Tide, the in-state rivalry. I know it's a rivalry in football. I assume it carries over to basketball. I don't know if anybody in that state watches it, but we're going to be watching it right here on stream. Auburn and Alabama, SEC tournament semifinals. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 15-point win. Let's double check that box score. See what happened. Corey Gray with 21. Leach helped out with 10 of his own. Whitehead with 10 rebounds from the guard position. Daly with 8 as well. Linton Collins went off for 14 points. So 4 of 5 from 3-point range. Linton Collins had himself a big game. But of course, Corey Gray is the star of the game. Look, Whitehead even chipped in with some assists. Whitehead had a heck of a game. So, nice little 15-point win there against a top 10 team on a neutral court. So that's got to give us all kinds of good signals going into March. Well, I mean, we're already in March, but you understand what I mean, going into that tournament. Now we got the Kentucky Wildcats. I'm laying it down. I think we win. I think they must have... It had to have been a one-off thing for them to beat Florida like that. I think we're taking them out. The SEC championship game, year 4 at Auburn. Can we... What in the world? There's something going on back there. Can we hang a banner? Can we hang a banner? Yes, we can! War Eagle, baby! Corey Gray, Richard Warren, 8-point win. SEC champions. SEC champions. Your Auburn Tigers. Man, that feels good. And now, folks, we're lined up for certainly a 2 seed, if not a 1 in the NCAA tournament. Crazy. All right, this is the time. If you guys have got sensitive ears, make sure that your speakers are appropriate. I don't know if I've got my audio output levels correct. Anybody that's normally in stream or watches this, if y'all could help me out, I did turn it down, but I'm about to click the button. Just make sure your speakers are down. Don't let this mess with you. But I'm going to let it run for a couple of seconds just so we can get a little bit of a gauge on it. All right, let me know how that, if the change in audio level made that bearable or if it still needs to be adjusted a little bit more. But we will go ahead and watch this show. All right, so here's some play-in games. Colorado, Townsend, okay. All right, so the 1 seed Creighton Blue Jays in Syracuse. Michigan State at 2, Maryland at 3, Richmond Spiders grab a 4 seed. Very interesting. All right, in Columbus, the Florida Gators are a 1 against my old Florida A&M Rattlers. Florida A&M Rattlers. Boise State at 2, UK with the 3, Georgia Tech. There's Kansas. We could have been there this year. Decided to pass. There's my boys, the Louisville Cardinals. In Nashville, the Auburn Tigers are a 1 seed. SEC with their second 1 seed. The Auburn Tigers. Yes, sir. Taking on Long Island in Nashville. Shoot, I might drive down and watch that game. Oklahoma grabs a 2 seed. The Oregon Ducks with a 3. Georgetown the 4. So we've already played both Oklahoma and Oregon this year. We beat Oregon at home. We lost to Oklahoma on the road. Be interesting to see what happens when we get onto that neutral court. And in the final region, San Jose, the Syracuse Orange grab a 1 seed. The Alabama Crimson tied a 2. So the SEC with 2 1s, a 2, and a 3. 2 3s. The Tennessee Vols also a 3 seed. The Temple Owls a 4. My Tulane Green Wave grab a 5. All right, the output sounds better now. Thank you very much for the feedback there. Is that hurricane scale? Glad that that's not like eardrum bursting anymore. Ooh, the Manhattan Jaspers. That's Justin's NCBA like second team. He must be paying out in Xboxes everywhere, man. He likes to bribe them there with the Manhattan Jaspers, and they grab a 6 seed in the NCAA tournament. So I don't know how that carries over. South Carolina with a 7. Lots of SEC representation here in this NCAA tournament. So we will stick with the Auburn Tigers. If we lose out early, we'll push through a little bit and then kind of catch it at some various stages. Otherwise, we'll check in when it gets to like Elite 8 or Final 4 and see what happened region by region. Like where we're at, guys. I really like where we're at. Ooh, is that Ole Miss in the NIT? I really don't like that we lost to NIT teams. But then again, we lost to Texas A&M, and they won't be in any tournament. So, worse things have happened. 28-6. We've had a heck of a year. 2 wins gets us to 30. And, I mean, that's obviously not the point at this point. We've won 28. What I'd really like to do is win 34. But we'll see. All right, so the 1 against the 16, I don't want to go down in flames here. Agalia in the NCBA, on our online multiplayer league. I don't know who all's in stream, but guys, if you're not in the NCBA and you're interested in a multiplayer league for this, reach out to me on like Discord or YouTube or whatever. Jump in that NCBA. Agalia was a 1 seed with the Kentucky Wildcats. He fell to a 16. I don't want to follow in his footsteps here. So get out there, play your game, do your thing. Let's win this. Nice. Woo. That was 40 points, and it looked like Corey Gray went off. I don't know what's going on behind me. Corey Gray for 35 points. Delhi went 10 and 10, so nothing outstanding, but gets the double-double. Corey Gray is the real story there. 7 of 12 from 3. Guys, he's coming back for his senior year. It's going to be unreal. He's definitely going to be on the Norton list next year. And if he's not, he should be a first team all-conference player this year. That's the other thing I didn't mention. We will get to see the awards, obviously. for this year, and I expect both Delhi and Gray to be on all conference teams. Whether that's first or second is TBD. See if my boys, the Louisville Cardinals, were able to upset the Gators in that second round game. I don't expect that they would have, and they didn't. Florida took them down by 18. So now we've got the Arizona Wildcats. So we went to, I believe, the Elite Eight last year. If we want to make it back to at least the Sweet 16, we got to take care of business today against the Arizona Wildcats in the Nashville region. Arizona versus Auburn. 13 points. Delhi with 26. My word. Throw in 13 rebounds. So, those are the kind of games that guy can throw together. That's why he was at one time in the top 10 of the Norton Award list. Look at the help. Warren, Whitehead, and Gray all chipping in with 15, 15, and 18. Gray with 8 assists. Leach did not have a very good game. Doesn't look like he was very involved. A lot of turnovers, not much scoring, not much of anything. That's pretty frustrating to see. But anyway, moving on. We're in the Sweet 16. We got 30 wins. We need 34 to hang the banner that counts. We're into the Sweet 16. I don't want to jump out and take a look at the overview of the tournament just yet, because sometimes it's still kind of boring. All right, we got the Dayton Flyers, so they upset somebody. And I believe Alabama beat St. Mary's. Is Alabama the other SEC team that was in our region? So is Oregon gone? We'll find out here in 1 second. First, we got to take care of business against the Flyers. The Auburn Tigers, the Dayton Flyers. What's going to happen? NCAA action coming to you right now. Yeah, 23-point victory. War Eagle. That's what I'm talking about. Oh! Oh my God. Do y'all see? Corey Gray scored 54 points. He's coming back next year too. Oh my God, guys. I don't even know what to say to that. What do you say when a guy scores 54 in a college game? Oh, wow. 14 of 24 from 3. So that's, 42 points just behind the arc. Chris, what do you do with the little, capture moment? Whatever you do with that thing, you gotta catch this. This needs to be on our Twitch, moments or whatever, where you, cut 30 seconds out. Corey Gray just dropped 54 points. Oh my God. The bigger news is the Auburn Tigers are moving on to the Elite Eight. And the Kentucky Wildcats aren't. No, actually, I think that is an Elite Eight game, right? So Georgia Tech going to the Final Four. Is that correct? Oh, Oregon very much did not get defeated. They're going to be playing us here with the rights to go to the Final Four on the line. Guys, this is where we made it to last year. We were an Elite Eight team. We couldn't get over the hump and make it to the Final Four. Now we got a chance against the Oregon Ducks. We beat them at home earlier this year. But now we don't get the comfort of that home court advantage. We got to play them on a neutral court. The final game of the Nashville region, the Oregon Ducks and the Auburn Tigers, who's going to the Final Four. It's your boys, 91-88. Whoa, what a close game. A squeaker. But it's the Auburn Tigers. In OT, Corey Gray played 42 minutes, folks. He scored 29 points. Delhi had 18 and 15, and your Auburn Tigers are headed to the Final Four. It's getting serious now. Let's check our mail. Then we're going to get an overview of the NCAA tournament. Nothing but scouting reports. Let's jump back over here and check out this grid and see what it's all about. And then we're going to have ourselves a Final Four. All right, so in Syracuse, the Creighton Blue Jays fell to the Florida State Seminoles in a 1-9 matchup. VCU took out Richmond. They made the Elite Eight and then fell to the Michigan State Spartans, the 2 seed. The 3 Maryland went out against San Diego State there, and that is your Syracuse region. In Columbus, the Florida Gators upset by the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Kentucky, as the 3 moved out against Boise State, got the small upset there, but then they couldn't get it done, and Georgia Tech gets the Final Four. In Nashville, you just saw it, the Auburn Tigers. Dayton upset Georgetown, so that's who got knocked out, was Georgetown. Duke actually knocked out Oklahoma back here in the second round, but then they couldn't overtake the Ducks, and so Auburn moves on from Nashville. And in San Jose, the Syracuse Orange, the 1 seed, against my Tulane Green Wave, took them out. The Orange beat out the Crimson Tide 78-70. Tennessee actually got upset by St. Mary's, but it was Alabama-Syracuse there, and so now in the finals, Auburn and Syracuse, Michigan State, and Georgia Tech. 2 1s, a 2, and a 4. I like our chances. I think the one that worries me the most is Michigan State. But we'll see. We will see. Have to simulate a couple of days here. We'll get the we'll have to wait a minute while it saves moving into April. All right. Time for the games. Oh, Lord, can we see? Let's cancel. I told you I was scared of Michigan State. They just won their Final Four game by 18 points. So that's very scary. But if we want to be worried about the Spartans, first we have to take care of the Orange. Auburn and Syracuse, what do we have? Oh, we need... I need to change the view. The Syracuse Orange and the Auburn Tigers in the Final Four. It's tip-off, baby. First time in the Final Four in this... Did we get to the Final Four with Tulane? I am not certain. I know they won after we left. But definitely our first time in the Final Four with Auburn. And let's go ahead and just make it right onto that national championship game. Taking on the Orange in the Final Four. Oh! Delhi was nowhere to be found. We lost by 11, guys. Warren played decent. Delhi did not show up. Wonder if he was in foul trouble. That's a tough loss. Yep, foul trouble. Only 18 minutes. So, Warren picked up the slack where he could. Bart Jackson tried. This is the game where we were missing, London, and he'll be here next year. So hopefully none of these guys leave. But that's the reason you need 3 just bangers on the inside, and we've really got one. And then Warren and Bart Jackson can have their games here and there, but We needed the one more guy. We didn't have it. We held tight in the first half, fell off in the second. Leach really wasn't that hot from outside. Didn't have a great game. A lot of turnovers there across the board, really. And we fall to the Syracuse Orange. So it was a good season. Definitely happy making it to the Final Four. That's awesome. And we're just, as I'd said before, we're one player short. And there you go. Michigan State takes it home. So, guys, that's the 2038 season. Let's check out the awards. Once we get through these awards, I'm going to try to kind of rush it because I'm getting some text messages that my stream needs to end from the wife. You can check out the individual awards here. Nothing we need to be concerned with. Nothing. UNLV with a first team All-American. Louisville, there's Jake Owens. All right, so nothing nationally. In the SEC, though, we ought to have, at the very least, 2 all-conference players. I actually won the Coach of the Year award. Love to see that. LaDarrell Gibbs, Player of the Year. First team all-conference, there's Corey Gray and Ben Delly getting their due. They're both coming back next year, but a couple of first-team all-SEC players. By the time these guys graduate, they're going to be first-round draft picks. Glad to see we're starting to fill up that Auburn Tigers trophy case. Second team, nobody there. So that's it for the awards. God, I can't believe we lost that game. I would have been okay losing to Michigan State in the finals. I hated losing to that Syracuse team. It's frustrating. Oh, let's see what we got here. All right, so we moved from 61 up to 67 in prestige, so we're closing in another season or two like that, and we'll be right there with the top teams in the country. See who all wants to hire us. Probably a little bit of everybody. Yeah. Arkansas on probation. Illinois wants us. Memphis. NC State. Pitt. Temple. TCU. Pretty interesting. Awful lot of probation going on through here. Arkansas is the big SEC one. Georgia looking for a coach. Yeah, we're not interested in any of that. We're riding this Auburn Tiger all the way. Ed Adams signed his letter of intent, so no hiring issues there. Ron Sanchez offered the head coaching position at Iowa. Do not know which coach that was. Hopefully, damn, it was my first assistant. All right, so we got to go out and get a serious first assistant here. First assistant, as always, is our recruiter. Let's see, 95. Is that our current staff at 95? Or is that what the total of our staff used to be? God, that's current. All right, so we got to find some kind of discount from a recruiter. 231 overall, 95, 100, give or take 135, 140. We can only spend about 60,000 here. See, he's a first assistant, but he's only making 38 a year. Let's see if we can offer Hackworth. Let's offer him 50. There we go. Alright, so we got a pretty good recruiter at a decent price. We'll still have about 86,000 to recruit with. Pretty good. Could definitely do it with much less, but... Alright, once this processes, we should be pretty close. We'll get the email that we need to, make our end of season request to the board or whatever, and then we'll process the off season. We'll take a look at the draft. We'll see if anyone transfers out, and we'll have it set up for next time. This was an exciting stream. We got a couple of real nice recruits. We won an SEC championship, 2 first-team All-SEC players, and made the Final Four. So it's for a Saturday afternoon, it's a pretty good stream, I think. I hope you guys really, I really enjoyed this one, so I hope you guys did too. Gonna petition the board, and we'll ask for facilities. We're making it on the budget that we got. We don't need more time. Let's get those facilities. Give us something for, let's be a blue blood. Let's turn Auburn into something serious here. Denied. Alright, fair enough. Processing the end of the season. Gonna grab a drink out of the fridge while this thing spins, and then we'll see how the draft goes and check out transfers. I'm really excited to see how London comes in. I'm thinking, he's a top 25 guy. He was top 10 at Indy. Is that right? If I recall. So I'm thinking going into next season, Gray and Deli, they're 4.5, 5-star kind of guys. I think London should be at least a 4-star guy as a freshman. At least 3.5, maybe 4. He's going to be a huge difference maker. And then we just got to hope that we don't have any transfers. We started Leach all year. Hopefully that was enough to keep him happy. I could see us losing that third point guard, even though I really don't want to. I could see it. So we'll just have to see how this plays out. It'd be really interesting to see how that small forward position works out next year. Is the freshman somebody that can step into that? Do we keep letting Whitehead play that? I don't know what to do at that 3. So a whole lot will be determined by what these rankings look like and how it all kind of falls. Here we are into the season, into the next season. We got to buy our reports. So the budget. We got 4 scholarships open, and that's before transfers. So we will definitely have quite a bit of recruiting to do this year. We got $86,000 to do it with. Take a look at the recruiting rankings. We only had 2 guys, so it's not a total surprise that we might be a little bit lower. We're still at 32, even with only 2 commitments. So that's looking pretty good. So we're going to have 4. You never know with transfers. We could have more. Scouting-wise, what I think we'll do... I think we can start to stretch out of the southeast at this point. 10, 20, 30. So that still gives us 56,000 to recruit with, and we're in a lot of regions. Let's back off the Great Plains. Let's stay Southeast, Midwest, America East, and then we'll hit those 3 camps as well. Well, we don't need reports over there. We will hit the camps. So we're on the national report. So, if we got to go deep, we'll go into the Southeast region. But if we don't have to go deep, everything should pop up out of that national report. So here we go, and look at these ratings, guys. Corey Gray gets bumped up to 5 stars. Justin Logan at 4.5, Pendelli at 4.5. Let's check this email. Players transferring, none. So that is the roster. Look. Look at the roster. Delhi, 4.5. Logan, 4.5. There's your starting 4, your starting 5. Warren at 4. A 4-star center is going to be the rotating third big man. Come to guard, we're loaded. Corey Gray at 5. Perry Leach, Whitehead, and Collins, all with 4. Throw in Lamont Miller with 3.5. Throw in Kurt Chambers, a sophomore power forward, at 3.5. Bart Jackson, the senior, is kind of taking a back seat at this point. I'm pretty sure he was a pickup we got out of the Georgia camp, so it's not a surprise that he could play, but had a relatively mild ceiling. Small forward, obviously, we still have a little bit of work to do, but more than enough talent on the rest of this team. We're going to have a 2-guard slot up. It'll probably be Whitehead again. So, guys, we are looking stacked for next year. Absolutely stacked. Let's get through these transfers. Players transferring, transfer sessions. Skip the sessions. Let's get through this and see what that draft class looks like. Again, we didn't lose anybody, but we can at least check it out. Guys, this is now time to start winning national championships. And then we'll just see how many of them we can get. Because I'll tell you, to be quite honest, the only thing that's going to stop me from winning national championships with this Auburn Tigers team is when Draft Day Sports releases their college basketball 2021 version, and I'll move over. Until then, we're just going to sit here and win national championships. All right, we're done with transfers. So we can delete all emails. Set up summer travel. We'll be headed to Indy. We will be headed to Memphis. And then we're also going to go to the Big Apple as well as Chicago this year. So about not quite $20,000 in camps. We'll still have more than enough money, though, to fill up 4 scholarships. Come on, give me that draft. See what it looks like. All right, recruiting begins. We're back to June 26th, guys. Got you through a full year. So we take a look at the draft, and right out of the gate, Michigan State, they won the national championship, and it's all because this point guard going first overall. There's a point guard from Syracuse right there behind him. Another Michigan State player, some Oregon. The good news is, these are all the Final Four teams. Michigan State lost 2 top 5 draft picks. Syracuse lost their point guard. Guess who brought everybody back? The Auburn Tigers, baby! We're winning a national championship real soon. Let's scroll through here and see if there's anything that jumps out as exciting. There's Jake Owens. I talked about him a lot over the past couple of streams. He went 19th. So you can see Tennessee, Kentucky, a whole lot of SEC here. Some more Oregon, some more Michigan State, South Carolina, Art Hathaway. Not sure if he's related to Ann. All right, there you have it. There's your draft. Oh, even some Dayton Flyers jumped in. Manu Mutilainen. Alrighty then. June 26th, got you through a full year. Guys, I hope you had as much fun as I did. I had an absolute blast. I'll get back on this stream with these Auburn Tigers as soon as possible because we're headed for national championships. It's just a matter of how long. But I really appreciate y'all stopping by. Glad to have you. Reach out to me on Discord or YouTube or wherever if you want to jump into NCBA or if you got comments on the stream or anything else. But thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll catch you all next time.